What is up, everyone? Happy Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. We are 2 days away from the Thursday back to school bash. We are 4 to 5 days away from Sunday. But I was gone all weekend. I got back late on Sunday night. I technically got back on Monday morning. It was so late. And then I had just already planned to not work yesterday. And so I just kind of respected that. So, to be honest, I did work on the back to school bash, but I did not send this out because guess what? You get to just have a bunch of fun. There's going to be more large group programming because if we have this massive influx of kids, I don't want you to have to then maintain the order and structure of a small group when most of your kids might not even know how we do small groups. So you're going to have some small group stuff that's going to be fun and getting to know kids. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. But just know, like, for those of you who are volunteering as subs this weekend or as one-time volunteers, you're going to have to do a little bit, but it's going to be really easy and really fun. So let me just give you the general rundown. We're going to start in our rooms, playing games, having fun. Hey, get to know some kids. Just ask them, like, what's your name? Are you new? Keep a record of new kids in your brain and then use our postcards, right? We're going to make sure every first-time guest and friend gets a card in the mail. So we have a ton of these cards downstairs. So we'll do that. So and again, don't write the cards right then. Just, hey, make a note. Hey, if you have a new kid, maybe go grab a postcard and write their name on it right then so you don't forget it. Then you're going to come across the hall where we're going to play our games. Ben Schmidt, who used to be a high school student of ours, he moved to college, went to college at Grand Canyon, and then took a residency internship at Calvary Christian Church in Omaha, Nebraska. Ryan Lingblom is there, and so that was the connection. And now Ben is back in town for a semester, kind of between college and residency, going back down to school. So I said, Ben, you were doing youth ministry in Omaha. You're studying youth ministry at Grand Canyon. He's going to come in and host. So he and I will be there the whole weekend. I'm teaching live, not a video. And so he and I are going to play some games, but he's going to lead most of that. All 4 services. And we're going to play a couple of games. One of them is going to be, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader in 2001, which is the year that I was in 5th grade. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask kids trivia questions from things that were popular when I was in 5th grade. So they're going to get prizes for getting the answers right, but we're trying to find prizes that make the most sense. So, like, for me, like, if I were to get Dunkaroos, which are back. For a while, you could only get them in Canada, but they're back. Like, if I opened up my lunchbox and found Dunkaroos, I'd be like, that is the best day ever, because I never, ever, ever got them, except for, like, the few times. Slap bracelets are back in. Those got banned when I was in elementary school, because we were hitting kids with them. So we're trying to even figure out, hey, can we get some VRL slap bracelets? And we found out we couldn't get them in enough time. The turnaround time was like 4 weeks. So you don't need to know about that. So we're going to play that game. We're going to play a second game. This game is, don't judge me. I'm not going to tell the kids where this came from. There's a show on MTV years ago called Silent Library, where you would put 6 people in a library and make them do stupid things, and you had to try not to laugh or make too much noise. So we're going to play at least 2 games, and the 2 that we're leaning towards right now, one's called Lunchboxing, where I left them in my car. We bought inflatable boxing gloves, and then a bunch of Little Debbie snack cakes. So we have, it's great value because they're cheaper, but we have snowballs, and we have cupcakes, and we have Nutter Butters, and we have a different, like, muffins. And so we're going to throw those up in the air, and then kids on stage are going to have to punch them into the crowd. They're going to literally box the lunch. So they're going to hit something in the crowd, and then the kids are going to get messy. But here's the deal. You can't make any noise or your team loses points. So it's this absurdly stupid game where kids are going to be screaming and laughing and having a great time, but, like, we are telling them not to. And then the other one will be a fire drill, where when the siren goes off, you have to go and line up. The thing is, we're going to have them in their rows line up, and we're going to say, hey, when you hear the alarm, you're going to line up tallest to shortest. Ready? Go. But you have to be as quiet as possible. So the alarm's going off and you're not making any noise, but they're trying to get lined up. So every kid gets to get up and move around and kind of participate in that. So That's the two games that we have a few other games that we're like, we'd really love to play this, but we don't know how it works. I want to do one where you get an octopus and then you have 8 kids try and give it a high five at one time. Where you each have a tentacle. But octopi are expensive, and also how do you keep it not gross for 5 hours on a Sunday? So we'll see about that one. So after those games, we're going to do a Just Dance video. It's I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas, but the backdrop for the video is in a school classroom. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to do one song for worship. It's the song Brighter by Hillsong Young and Free. Kind of an older song, but we've never done it before, so it's new for us. We'll do a song. And then I'll come up and teach the stories from Luke chapter 2. This is where Jesus goes with his parents to Passover as a 12-year-old. It's the only story that we have of Jesus between the ages of 2 and 30. So he's born, and a few years later, the wise men come to visit, and they give him these gifts. And the next thing we know is that he's 30 and getting baptized, except for this one story where his parents leave the Passover festival and they can't find him. And he's missing for 3 days, and they find him in the temple teaching the teachers of the law. And when his parents go like, "Where have you been?" He goes, "Well, you should have known that I'd be in my Father's house." And it says that Jesus grew in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man. So those are the 4 things. And we're going to tell kids, hey, you're going to grow in stature because you're 7, you're 9, you're 11. You're going to get bigger. So this year, let's not focus on that so much. How do we grow in wisdom and in favor with God and man? What does that look like in your classroom this year? What does that look like just as you're growing through this year? So that's what we're going to talk about with kids. It's 10 minutes, pretty short, because again, we have kindergartners and we have 5th graders, and we kind of have to meet them in the middle. Then we go back to small groups where you're going to start off with, like, if you could go to any fictional school, what school would you want to go to? And that's where Hogwarts, the Jedi Academy, East High School, which is the high school from High School Musical. So maybe your ideal school is like, do people just break out in song all the time? So kids, and they'll answer their own stuff. Or Riverdale High School, because that's a show that's popular with people. I'll be honest, I've never seen it. So that's one. What's your favorite thing? What's your favorite school lunch, like hot lunch? For me, it was always like square pizza, like the pizza that just came like a brick. And then I'm currently adding in, like, we're going to find a nice Mad Lib for you to do, like a back to school Mad Lib. And then also some things like, hey, so what can you do at school to grow in favor with God and man? Like, to grow in favor with man means like that they like you, that they respect you, that you're treating people well. So how do you do that in a classroom? So we're going to actually have a growth component to this. Like, hey, we want you to leave and, have an understanding that what I do is a reflection of God, and that when God's with me, I can do these things. But also we're just going to have a lot of stupid fun, and I'm really excited about it. So if you have any questions, let me know. Oh, also, and then when every kid leaves, check this out. I had custom made VRL kids tattoos. And so every kid gets a tattoo, and the idea is that they'd put them like right there on their face, because these things are supposed to not come off like a week as temporary tattoos do. And then they go to school and all their friends see those. And so that's the idea, is that then they see our logo on their faces for a week. So that's what we've got going on. If you have any questions, let me know. Thursday night crew, if you could be here by like 6:10, so that 6:15, we're ready to go. Same thing, 8 o'clock. If you could be here by 7:40, I'll put in a coffee order for you. 7:40 people. Put in a coffee order, and that way, again, 7:45, doors open, we're ready to go. And then 9:30 and 11 o'clock, if you're at service before that, just come back as soon as you can. Let's check in the classroom before we then go use the restroom, get coffee pre-service, just to make sure our doors can be open and other volunteers can leave if they need to. So that's what we got. It's going to be a great weekend. Super excited. So have a great day. Have a great 2 days. I'll see you on Thursday. I'll see you on Sunday. Let's party. Peace out.